shortly. We're going to do a quick one. We're going to be a 30-minute today. Here comes Eric right now. Looks like he just made it home in time. Eric, how you doing, man? What's up? Can you hear me? Oh, we've got the hearing issue again. I don't know what's going on with that. I can't hear anything you're saying. Guys, let me know if you can hear Eric out there. Say what's up when you get in the chat and all that stuff. Let's make some money today. Let's see what I can do. I don't know. If you can hear Eric, let us know. Eric, I'm assuming you can hear me. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Eric? I don't know what's going on right now with that. Let's see. Eric, can you hear me? You can hear me. All right, guys. So you guys got to let us know if you can hear Eric, and then we can go from there because I don't know exactly what I'm supposed to do when that happens here. I've got to get Kevin Gausman out of some lineups as we speak. Sheets, guys, whoever's first in chat, please let us know about Eric because I need to kind of know what to do here. I don't have any setting that is any different than I have ever had it. Let me see if I go to my audio. Let's see. Let's try. Eric, any chance that changed anything? Nope. But it's not. I don't understand it. I've never had this problem on there. I know Eric's had it a couple times with me, but I don't know the solution. So Eric, if you've got it to me, send it to me. Guys, if you can hear Eric, again, let us know as soon as you get in the chat. Real quick, I'll talk about some lineups because I don't want to keep you guys totally bored while we try to figure this out. But yeah, let us know about Eric. And then lineups, I'm stacking the Dodgers, Jays, Padres, Cubs in that order with a little bit of Kansas City, Cincinnati, and Milwaukee mixed in. I'll go through actual, other plays. Ray, Heaney, Morton now are my leaders. I did like Gausman as a long shot play, and I do have Molly a little bit. Let's go, K9 Bronco. Let's do it. Let us know if you can hear Eric, K9, because we're having trouble with the audio for some reason. And usually Eric sends me this link. I do the early ones, but for some reason it is not allowing me to hear him. So again, just let us know as soon as you can whether you can hear Eric or not. So Eric, you got to say some things just to make sure they can hear you. It is White Claw Friday, by the way. We did talk about that last week. While I wait for you guys to answer. It can only hear me. So something with your output, Eric, must be going on. That sucks. That's too bad. We need to figure out what to do about that. I don't know what I can do because if it's not coming in on my end, I don't know. Let me see. I'm taking a quick look. I have no idea what to do with this exactly. Sorry, guys. I do want to keep going with some plays in the meantime. Eric, if you have any ideas, can you shoot them over to me in a text? I can take a look at it. And we can go from there on that. Yeah, you can. So other guys, like I talked about, I'm playing the Dodgers. I was going to share my screen, but then once Eric came on, everything else changed. And if we can get a way to get the volume working, maybe there's something with the output on that laptop or something. This is what happens. We're traveling in the summer. It's the quietest time, but we do have baseball back now. I mentioned the ways you can stack the Blue Jays and get lower ownership if you play guys like Gurriel and Grichuk at the bottom instead of Teoscar or Springer. That's one thing I'm looking to do. I also think that there's a lot of interesting one-offs. I like some of the Seattle cheapos. I like Tyler Naquin. I like Jorge Soler. Cole Calhoun is minimum price and should be back in the lineup, batting in the middle of the order. Tommy Pham on FanDuel. Contreras, a lot of the Cubs showed up for me a lot on FanDuel. Contreras, Wisdom on FanDuel. They're too cheap. So I'm not really sure what's happening. Eric, maybe jump in the chat and see if you just even enter that in the chat. Maybe I can figure out a way to hear you. Not really sure on this one. Sorry, guys. We'll have this straightened out by next time. But thanks to those of you guys who did sign up. Don't forget to like and subscribe to these shows. Really appreciate it if you do. Hopefully when Eric jumps back in, we'll be able to hear him and it won't be so scattered. Molly's an interesting one. I was going to be higher on him, but I do feel worried about the conditions and the hitter's umpire. It does worry me. And at the same time, I also want to get a little lower, not just because Miller's the umpire, but I feel like getting really overlooked on the slate. And without Gausman, he might be one of the guys I pivot to. I'm actually going to do that right now on some of my FanDuel lineups where I have him. I also have a mild interest in Danny Duffy. I can see him having a strong outing here. I don't think I'd put him in my big buy and stuff. I have him currently in one, but I'm going to edit that. But we're just going to be going up till 6:30 today because, there's weather concerns, and I planned this show very differently when I thought I was going to be doing it solo, which it turns out I am anyway. There are some serious issues with Toronto, but this is one of those spots where I think that the Blue Jays are really close to the Dodgers in terms of who I like tonight. Yes, there's plenty of other places to go. San Diego, that's a very logical place to go. KC, I think the Cubs. Arizona's got the worst bullpen in the major leagues, and they've got Madison Bumgarner, who can't strike anybody out against a team that's issue is strikeouts. Also got some really good lefty crushers in there. Some of the Yankee one-offs, I even have Eduardo Rodriguez, I think, in like 5% of my DraftKings tournaments, but I do like some Yankees one-offs here. We got Eric back, and let's see if we can hear him. Can we hear you? Oh, we got you. Yes. Victory. We're in business. So what are we doing today? I was talking about what I'm doing. What are you with? What are the stacks you're going with? What are the pitchers you're using? And I guess I can share my screen and talk a little bit about my plays. But tell us what you're doing.
Yeah, it looks like Chalk City USA for me today. So far, I'm getting Haney and Morton, and the Dodgers. No.
Yeah, I mean, Robbie Ray is probably one of the guys I'll use the most. You have a team that has basically, I think they have the second lowest walk rate, if not the lowest walk rate in the major leagues, against a guy whose real struggles are home runs and walks. And if he's not walking anybody, I'm not too worried against a team that's going to strike out that much against Robbie Ray. However, you do have the hitter's park and all that stuff. I don't mind some bats against him like Heim if you're not going to play him. But I think Robbie Ray, assuming that game goes, which I said we're going to cut out at 6:30 Eastern tonight, Cheats, to check on the weather. But maybe with you here, we can manage enough because I have lineups that I needed to edit. I have Gausman in a bunch of lineups on FanDuel. He was one of my sneaky pitchers of the day. So I've got to do some things still. The Dodgers and Blue Jays are obviously, and the Padres are the best stacks, I think. But I really like the Cubs, especially on FanDuel. Have you looked at the Cubs at all?
I didn't really get to much of that. I got to some kind of funny stuff. I got to some Baltimore.
Okay, I don't mind some of that. I have a little Mancini myself.
Hold on, I got to take. I had to take somebody out of my lineup here. Yeah, so it looks like I got – no, actually, you know what? I do have some Cubs. I actually do have some Cubs. But okay. I got – in addition to the pitchers I mentioned, I have Haney's like my top guy, and then I got other guys. I got Tyler Mahle. I got Morton, as I mentioned. I got McCullers and Robbie Ray.
Yeah, I'm a little. I like Mahle too. I originally was going to have a lot more of him, but I am very worried about it's really good hitting conditions out there, and we have seen Milwaukee be a little bit better from the plate lately. Got Colton Wong back as well. I believe he's in today. I actually like both sides of the hitting in that game, but I do have some Mahle as well. You have extreme hitters umpire as well in that game, so it's taken me off of Mahle on single entry pitcher sites. But I do have interest in him on DraftKings a little bit. But there's a bunch of guys. I mean, I think Eduardo Rodriguez and Sean Manaea are two guys who could absolutely smash on this slate, and I don't think anybody's really going to play them much. And Manaea especially keeps piquing my interest a little bit. I think that he's got the kind of stuff against the Cleveland team that struggles with lefties, especially they get a huge shift park downgrade for them. We know Manaea's had that. This guy's throwing no hitters. He's got the stuff to really be one of the better pitchers on the slate, maybe the best pitcher on the slate. And I think he's the under. Those are the two that no one's really. I haven't heard many people talking about that I'm sort of into.
Let me see what else I have here.
Okay. Call up your stuff. If you want to share your screen, that'd be great, actually, because I've got to make my actual edits to lineup. So that's partly what I was struggling with.
Yeah, I will, but just
give
me a sec. I just want to go through my ownerships, then I'll pull my projections up. So I have. It looks like my highest owned guys like Haney by a lot. Just a lot.
Makes sense.
And then I'm spread out the others. So I have like 90% Haney, then like 20% McCullers, 20% Morton, 20% Ray, and then 20%. I guess that's it, right? So I was only going to play 10 lineups tonight because I'm going out and I'm kind of on the road or whatever. But as far as the hitting, I just have all kinds of Dodgers and and Baltimore. I have a couple little San Diego, and then I do have like you mentioned, I do have one or so Cubs as well. But what's the deal with Baltimore? Do you like them? Have people been talking about them at all? Because I'm getting to a decent amount of them actually.
No, I mean it's just a full slate and a terrible offense, so it's hard to have too much interest for me. But I don't mind some of the plays in the game. I mentioned Santander in my video earlier. I mentioned I do like Mancini at first base, which I don't love that much today. I really like Matt Olson as a one-off, but I think if you can't quite get there, Mancini is a good option. And I wasn't just getting to the other guys. Not that it's a bad spot. I just think for them to be if you're going to stack them, my opinion would be you take 3 of them or something like that, but you don't, or 4. But you don't make a 5-man stack with them, in my opinion, on these big slates. And that's not always going to be right, but it's more right to me to do that with those kind of stacks. That's the way I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to get my Dodgers Cubs stack in right, and I can't quite get it exactly the way that I like here. I love AJ Pollock today, by the way. Expensive on FanDuel too. I don't think people are going to go there, so I'm very, very happy to play he and Chris Taylor over Muncy and Bellinger, for example, to just try and get a little bit, a cuter part of the stack that's got the upside. I mean, Chris Taylor's a freaking all-star, by the way. Look at that. These guys the Dodgers are going to go on an absolute tear in the second half of the year. I'm the one who's always on Senzatella's defense, but the Dodgers are one team that he can't get them out. It doesn't matter what stadium you're playing in. We would play the Dodgers in LA here. So them being in Colorado, the only thing about that I put some, maybe a little pause for concern. Obviously, the Dodgers being so popular, maybe you do the 3-4-man stack with them and hope you get the right side of it. Because one thing about Senzatella is he gets so many ground balls that it actually does kill more stack upside, which is why I'm not usually a huge fan of stacking entirely against him. But I think in this case, obviously, I'm going to have some Dodger stacks. I'm going to have a lot of Lux in those stacks and things like that. I'm going to have a lot of the bottom of the order. But I think that trying to pick Chris Taylor out, who's a fly ball guy against a ground ball pick, that's a great spot. Just playing one of the Bellinger, Muncy, or Betts, and you play a 3-man combination, or have a 3-man with Pollock and Taylor and Betts or something like that. Just try to get those home run spots, those power spots, and in the hopes that maybe they're up 7-0 after 6, but those 3 guys are responsible for those 7 runs. And you're not sitting, and you've got plenty of other options on the slate you can go to combo stack them with. So I just think that's a smart move with the Dodgers because of how chalky they're going to
be. Hey, Bobby, what do you think of what do you think of JD Martinez?
So I like JD Martinez with the pitcher shift today a lot. And I think you're going to get lower ownership on him because of these other bats we want to play. So I'm all on board with it. I just am not getting to it myself, which feels weird because I sort of have a rule, like if JD Martinez is facing any lefty and it's either at home or in Yankee Stadium, I'm always going to play him. So probably the right thing to do is to get a little JD Martinez for sure.
What are you doing? Let me pull up FanDuel. What are you doing over there?
So that's where I'm playing a little bit more Cubs. I actually have some 3-3-2s, and mostly it's 4-3-1s and a couple 4-2-2s. But I like getting the Padres, Cubs, Dodgers, and Toronto in there. Again, those are not way off the board. The Cubs are probably going to be lower owned, except for a couple spots, and I just think that there's some real upside here for them, especially. I mean, it's just an awful matchup for Bumgarner and for the bad bullpen. Now, it's not a great hitting environment or anything like that. But I really, really think the Cubs and San Diego, on the other hand, in a great hitting environment. I really like San Diego. They're just going to be popular. You know what I mean? So the Cubs are a way to maybe stack and get a little different and maybe use the San Diego Dodgers. Hope you get the right side of it. My favorite, San Diego's are Tatis and Pham. My favorite on the Dodgers. I love Pollock as a play just because I think you can get him lower owned, and I think Taylor you can get lower owned. So that's sort of
what about pitching over there?
It's Morton. Number 1 Ray is number 1 actually, but Morton and Ray are right there with each other. I was going to use my third one. I actually thought about Danny Duffy. I'm playing 3 big ones tonight over there. Been doing really well. I finished 4th last time in it. I haven't come in the non-top 10 in the last, I think 4 or 5 monsters. I think I finished the top 10 of them every time, and there was 1 entry in 3 of those. So
that's ridiculous.
It was awesome. I mean, I finished 9th on Saturday, 5th on Sunday. It was just like, oh, so close. But so I'm trying to get obviously I'm trying to finish a few spots higher. I'm just debating whether I can make that move to try and really play Danny Duffy or Eduardo Rodriguez here. This Yankee lineup is a Yankee lineup in name only. There is not a ton to be scared of in this lineup. And no one is going to play. I don't think people are playing Eduardo Rodriguez. And he's been good. He found himself again. By the way, against the full Yankee lineup, he pitched six innings, had 8 Ks last time. Got the quality start and the win, 46 fantasy points. I would love another performance like that because he's the value guy who sort of can make things work. So I'm just flirting with he versus Duffy, or do I need to go that low? That's basically what I'm
So what I'm doing on FanDuel is I'm playing 10 lineups. I have 60% Morton, and then I have 2 with Ray, 1 with Heaney, and actually 1 with Duffy.
Heaney. Yeah. I'm skipping Heaney on FanDuel, and I think that might be a mistake. But you have a popular pitcher who doesn't really – he's not a guy who goes and eats up innings unless he's getting really quick outs. And his up – like I just feel like there's so many ways this could go really right or really wrong for him in a hurry. And I just feel like it's just hard for me. I think the other pitchers are just better pitchers around him. I feel more safe with him, and I feel like the upside is basically the same. But I don't want to have all my exposure to Charlie Morton and Robbie Ray only. So I'm just sort of struggling with it, but it's hard at the same price as Morton, who I just like much better. But maybe the right thing is to get a little bit of Heaney in there.
The one guy that I'm not getting any of, which I'm a little afraid I'm not, is what do you think of Chris Bassett?
I actually think that he's a decent pitching option, but he's not the kind of guy who scares me to fade him unless he's going to throw like a
okay.
Hold on, wait a minute. Chris Bassett's not pitching. Sorry.
Oh, he's not?
No, it's Sean Manaea.
Oh, okay.
I mean, unless they changed it back, because I noticed that early in the day. Maybe it's because he just pitched in the All-Star game a little bit. But yeah, we've had a couple pitching changes already. So, and I think people are going to come on to Manaea now on DraftKings, but I don't think on FanDuel he'll be on.
What the hell do I know? I know everything I had was bad.
I can relate to it. Guys, pop in questions and stuff. There's definitely a lot to be ugly out there. But or say, how can I do it? I just press the button. I'm waiting till the last weather update before I make my decision on the weather, guys. I'm not going to sit here and let it dictate the guys who I think are the best pitchers, or the best plays on the slate. So I will do that in certain situations, but if I think it's clearly the best, I'm going to probably play those guys, assuming that we think the game's going to play.
What are they talking about?
Everybody's worried in Atlanta. In Atlanta, Toronto, New York, or Pittsburgh, is it? Yeah.
Well, let's have a look-see.
So see if you can find any extra stuff. I personally am currently I operated differently today because I was at 6:30. I was going to get off and try and look at the weather myself and edit my lineups, but I didn't know you'd be here. So, can I do this with Heaney? Let's see. Oh, so close to getting somebody else in there. I just can't quite get my thing right.
Yeah, I'll give this a better look. This Tampa thing, I think that's a good call there to watch for the weather over there.
You mean in Atlanta?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I mean,
we're watching.
Also, in Milwaukee.
You mean in Cincinnati? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we just have to keep an eye on it right now, and
right.
You know, it is after the All-Star break, the first game. Generally, they do a good job in the first game of letting you know beforehand. So that's the Toronto one. Obviously, is the biggest affecting one on the slate. Now, what? Let's talk about some pivots if those games don't happen or look like they're even going to be worse than we thought. Okay. I think that the pivot is going to be so easy for everyone just to switch over to San Diego, the Dodgers, and it's going to be overwhelm their ownership. So I would try to get different. I would play some of your JD Martinez, maybe with some, a little bit of a mini stack in Boston. I would look to try to get, more Cubs. Without that game, actually, the Dodger is just going to be so through the roof. I would take a look at some Angels, some Oakland. I think you would want to get. I would err on the side of trying to get away from just fully stacking the Dodgers and Padres, because I think that that's what people will do. In fact, that is what people will do. I feel pretty.
What time is the Atlanta game?
The Atlanta game is at 7:10, right?
Yeah.
7:20.
Maybe we're supposed to not play that one.
You really think the weather's that bad?
I don't know, but maybe we're just not supposed to play it. I don't.
Yeah, we'll see. Let me go back to my weather stuff real quick. Pop in any other questions, guys. That's just where I'm at. Yeah, I hear you, Big Ticket. All we can do, it's not going to do any good if we just keep speculating on the games we already know we're worried about, because we understand there's some concerns. But let's not try to be the weatherman. Let's try and take the information from all the actual weathermen. And I'm trying to do that right now. So let's see. We'll take a look at a few other guys I picked up on during the break. Oh, it is hot as hell in here. I'm going to turn my.
I tell you, man, Lance McCullers has gone over 100 pitches 2 games in a row.
So Senzatella was just scratched, and Chichi Gonzalez is now the pitcher.
Oh, good grief.
So that's going to be even better for the Dodgers, obviously. It's going to be pretty popular. All right. Now, Ricardo's not worried about rain coming from Atlanta. All right, Sheets, take it over with some of the things that some like one-offs and stuff you like, and I'll be back in just a second. Got to grab something.
Yeah, so as I was mentioning, I wish I had some. And this is something that you guys are gonna have to get used to when we go forward with the site and all this stuff. I was trying to explain this a little bit in one of the videos. There's going to be a difference between it's kind of not hedging, whatever, but who I like and who I'm playing, and who my sheets have as good values, who I'm actually playing, because just you don't want to just. It kind of sounds silly unless you've been doing this for a while, but you don't always want to play the best plays. You want to, especially in GPPs, you want to play guys that are close to the best plays and lower owned, or that have leverage in some way. So there are going to be times where just the guys that rate the best for me are sometimes I'll play 0 of them. So when I go through who I'm actually playing, people be tempted to say, well, your sheets or this and the other thing, you have these guys ranked here. Why aren't you playing them? Or you didn't even have these guys ranked in your top 5. Why are you playing them? And that's the nature of GPPs is it's not just who the best play is. It's who provides you the best leverage and the best play relative to ownership, if that makes any sense. But tonight, fortunately or unfortunately, the guys who are going to be rating the best are happen to be the guys I'm going to be playing. I just can't fade that situation in Colorado, and if it wasn't unfadeable enough, it was Chichi Gonzalez basically throws batting practice. So I am. They're gonna. I'm just not getting away from that one. It's just gonna, and it could be a mistake. It could be just Chalk City Friday night for Sheets, and the game busts or something else happens. It is a huge slate, right? And this is what's going to sound kind of hard to believe, but the Dodgers are not favored to be the top scoring team. In other words, yes, over any other team, they're favored, but it's more than likely they're not the top scoring team. Like they're not 50% to be the top scoring team when you have 28 teams out there. It's just not the way it is. So it's not going to be surprising if they're not the top scorer. I just don't know who the top scoring team is going to be. And it's just so likely that these guys go off that it's just going to be difficult for me to get away from them. It's just going to be, that's why I'm only playing 10 lineups and such. It's just kind of a chalky build for me tonight. Just kind of a chalky approach for me tonight. And I just don't have it in me don't have it in me. Just my numbers just don't lead me too far off the chalk tonight. That's just the way it's going to be.
I hear you there.
I guess the only thing maybe people don't play Baltimore. That'll be and that's great. It's great news, I guess. They get to play Baltimore. So that's I guess that's my kind of rant for the day. is as we go forward. Remember, I'm not being a. Hopefully, you don't think I'm being a pain in the neck, saying, "Oh, I like this guy, but I'm not playing him." That's just unfortunately the reality. And sometimes when I'll have Saberson build lineups for me, even using my own projections, put them in there, I'll sometimes just get totally different builds. And for the higher variance MMEs, I'm actually more inclined to go with a randomized optimizer build than one that's completely reliant on projections. So that's what makes baseball so frustrating and so fun. What can I tell you?
Yep. All right. So the other update should be coming pretty soon. Shoot, how many golf lineups did you get through?
Yeah, out of the 40 or so lineups, I think I have 6.
Yeah, so it looks like Morton's definitely got some more concerns. Wait, 4?
6 out of 40. 6 out of 40.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, but nothing's good. Nothing's that great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, but what's his name got through a little bit. The English had a sick day, right?
Yeah, man, I know. I was ready to give up on him. Thanks for the update, Big Ticket. Yeah, that does make me a little bit more worried about Morton.
What do you say?
Bats in Cincinnati, Atlanta. So you can read it. It's right in the chat. And Ray, that's really concerning.
Yeah, it's rough.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I don't know what we're gonna do. Really like Morton. Maybe he ends up in my smaller buy-in stuff. And
wait, actually, you know what I have? I have actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have nine lineups that are 6 for 6. But I mean, the top performers got kind of an embarrassing number of points. I think I have 207. Is that accurate? Yeah, 271 is my top points.
yeah, it's I'm not. I got off of Morikawa onto Hovland late, and then I just wish I just obviously stuck with that one because I've got the Oosthuizen. I've got some really nice ones, but
hey, but you know what I do have, by the way. But I have two I have 2 live bets. I have Colin Morikawa at 34-1.
Mm-hmm.
And I have Scheffler at like 50-1.
Colin Morikawa. Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah,
that's great, man.
That's 2. I made 3 total live bets, and 2 of them were just top 5 live. That's great.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah, that's pretty good stuff.
I think I just need to. I think I need to win one of them outright to break even on the weekend. It's probably going to be the way it's going to be.
Yep, makes some sense. Let me see. I still have Gausman in a couple lineups, don't I? No. Okay, so
what do I do with this Braves thing? This is like ridiculous. I could just fade it. Just go 0. I mean, I could do that.
Nothing wrong with that.
What if I did that? What if I just did this? I want get rid of him, and then like load it up on Robbie Ray and have him rain out on me. That'd be fun.
Yeah, I'm coming off of some of my Ray stuff, but I still am going to leave him in for right now. It's worrisome to me. I'm wondering what it will do with the ownership.
That's what we're going to do. We're going to play FanDuel. We're going to play 40% Ray. You like any Adam Wainwright?
No, I'm not getting there, but I understand it. I'm just not going to. No way I'm doing it.
Okay, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to download this. Then we're going to change my FanDuel lineups. Where's FanDuel? FanDuel. Now, the problem is with sharing my screen on my laptop is I don't have any control. I mean, like I go back and forth between stuff, and like some stuff I can show and some stuff I can't.
Right. I hear you.
me just see something. This, and then we'll do this. And do. He doesn't really pitch 7 innings, 6 innings either, though, all too often, does he? Or I guess he does when he pitches well. Robbie Ray?
He's been on, pretty much.
He's been doing. He's been pitching up as much as he needs to, right?
Yeah, the team would never walk. He'd have to get lit up pretty good to be out of there.
Okay, so FanDuel I uploaded, I saved. Now let me do DraftKings. I'll just, you know what? I'm going to dinner. I'm just going to play 0 of Morton. Let's make it easy. Let's get this up here. No, I want. Pitcher 0. Gausman bereavement.
Oh, that sucks.
That's why he's out.
Mm-hmm.
You playing any Jordan Montgomery or no?
No.
Okay. Any Keegan Aiken?
No. It's actually kind of interesting, though. I hadn't really thought about it much today because there was other guys I liked, but I think that's actually not the worst, weird play in the world. Hunter Renfroe, solid one-off. Not for me, but I totally understand it. You got a lefty, whatever. It's just a whatever play. I think there's a million better plays that I like. I don't even know what Renfroe's price is. I didn't come across any of them today. He's always going to hit a home run, so it's fine if you want to do it, but it's just not. Let me see who I've got in that range instead of Renfroe. With 3,300, he is pretty cheap. Yeah, I think that's fine then. I actually think that changes things a little bit. I prefer Tyler Naquin straight up at 2,800, but I don't mind Renfroe.
Whoa, that's all Tyler Naquin is nowadays?
Yeah, man, he's 2,300 on FanDuel.
Oh, I thought you had DraftKings.
He's 2,800 on DraftKings.
Oh, man.
Pretty cheap.
Sure
He's
is.
on my main build currently, but so is Robbie Ray, and that is probably going to change. In fact, I can pretty safely say that is going to change.
Let me see.
One of the weird ones who no one's talked about on DraftKings. What about? Look, the upside sucks. He feels like and all that stuff, but Arizona's so bad. I'm almost tempted to play Kyle Hendricks over Heaney.
Yeah, really?
Just think about it. Hendricks is the more consistent pitcher. He's going to have 0 ownership, and it's a terrible Arizona team.
Is Arizona that bad?
They're the worst. They lost 22 games in a row this year.
Is that true?
They're one of the worst. They're the worst team. They have the worst bullpen, and they're one of the worst offenses in baseball.
I guess Randy Johnson's not on the team anymore.
Randy Johnson ain't walking through that door.
No. Birds flying across the mound are safe. All right. What else? Any other questions?
Guys, any thoughts or questions? I do think that we, I'm coming a little bit off of those guys. I actually like some of my other pitchers, but I am going to have some of them still just in all transparency. And I'm probably going to listen to right before the game locks to Roth, just to be honest. I still feel like he's a little concerned because he thought some games were going to go that didn't go. And I think that I'm afraid we're picking up on I'm picking up too much on his timidness. Sheets, can you access some of the other things and maybe look up? Because the weather's pretty significant.
Yeah, let me see what else I have.
Thanks, man. I'm kind of getting into this Minaya play a lot. I'll tell you what was really frustrating on Friday. I'll tell you a story, guys. I was looking great, and I had my White Sox coming up in the 9th inning, the bases, there was a double play to end the bottom of the 8th, I believe it was. And Tim Anderson was on deck, and then it goes Moncada and Abreu. And I just had a 3-man stack to go with my other 4-man stack, which went nuts. And I really ended up only needing like 9 points, basically. So if anybody gets a hit with the runners on, it would have done it with a double play. And then they take them out at the bottom of the 8th, and they don't get their at-bats in the 9th. And, of course, like 2 of the guys hit home runs who pinch hit for them.
What are you talking about?
That was Friday, and I would have won the 100. Oh. I just had those at-bats. I think I would have. Between the 3 at-bats, they're projected. I probably would have gotten there, especially with the bases loaded. In one case, so it was just a little frustrating. But hey, things happen. So no one's talking about Washington much, and I actually kind of like Washington, but I'm more just using them as one-offs, just in all honesty.
So I have a Morton is in build and a Morton is out build already in my CSV, so I can make that last minute call.
Yep.
with some force. So it's 7-10. I just don't want to play weather issues if I don't have to.
I hear you. You can notice any questions in chat? I'm just trying to take a look and see if I can find anything else.
No, Ricardo Ray is not worried about the weather.
Yeah,
I mean, Mrs. Sheets doesn't live there, so I can't get the full.
I know you don't get not getting us the right information.
Yeah, I agree with you. Big ticket. I think it might be the home run derby. I don't know.
Where's that?
With Chichi Gonzalez pitching.
Oh man. Yeah, it's going to be a rough one. Rough one to fade. Yeah, I think in my biggest buy, I still like I'm trying to stack the Dodgers in a different way. It's probably my best advice on that one. And I do think with the weather concerns in Toronto, I have to maybe come off of that a little bit, unfortunately.
What time does that game start?
It's at sorry.
You get an extra hour?
No, it's at 4:07, 7:07.
Ugh, good grief.
Danny Duffy's had a few rough outings, and they moved him to the pen for a little bit, but like he's got the upside here.
I'll tell you, I really don't think that. Well, wait a minute. Yeah, so they might. I guess they could postpone it before 7. They're not going to postpone either game before lock. That's the problem.
It's possible though that they could. I'm ready for it every second I hear my phone beep.
Right. All right, so I'm gonna go. I'm just really waiting on it. If there's no postponement, just so you guys know what I'm doing. I'm gonna go 0 Morton, probably. Either 0 Morton or full go with Morton. I'm not gonna go one way or the other. I'm either gonna go 0 Morton or I'm gonna go what I had before, which was about 25%.
Right.
And aside from that, I'm going to have all kinds of Haney and all kinds of Dodgers, and I'm not going to worry for a couple hours. That's for sure.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm just going to take. Yeah, I'll be in chat, guys. If you have any extra questions, it's a little hard to know what to do with the weather and everything, but good luck.
Yeah, and guys, just so you know, I mean, again, I put up a video on MMA. I put up the projections and sheets will be posted all throughout the weekend. You know, the timing might be a little weird, but You'll get some baseball, in time for baseball. You'll get NASCAR. You'll get MMA. Maybe not another update, but LOL for those degenerates like me that play that. You'll get that in there too, and then also the what else? There was something else. I'm not. I'm probably not going to do PGA Showdown, but if I do, this is the deal I'll make with all you guys. If I'm going to play something, I'll put sheets up. That's what I'm going to do.
Awesome.
And that's pretty much it.
All right, guys. Good luck to everybody out there tonight. And again, I'll be in Discord. And let's crush it.